Thank you, Madam Chair. Ambassador Hankins, let me ask you a few questions because I think we have really not engaged in Haiti the way we need to. I had the Secretary General of the United Nations in a meeting with me, and I said to him, unless we have a multinational force to ultimately provide for security, we cannot do all the rest. We cannot have a political development unless there's security. We cannot make economic development, which Haiti desperately needs, unless we have security. We can't have security for so long as the gangs are the ones controlling, as well as the fact that the elite that uses the gangs to perpetuate their interests. So I'd just like to get your sense. I may have missed it because I had a markup in the Finance Committee, but is that something that, am I off base here? Is that something we're in comedy with? What can you speak to me on that?
Haiti is, by its nature, it's a complicated country where lots of crises, one affects everyone else. We have a very dedicated team, and we have a great deal of, whether it be from the Senate, the House, or from the administration, a lot of engagement, but it is hard to find good, lasting solutions. I agree with you, Senator, that without some kind of force, whether that be a multinational force or a UN peacekeeping mission, it is very difficult for basic human security to be guaranteed, for the Haitians to have the space they need to proceed on political resolution, or to ensure the security of Haitians as well as the many American citizens who live in Haiti. I'd be engaged with all partners, whether it be then major countries like Canada and France, which have long-lasting history, but as well with the bordering countries, whether it be Dominican Republic, Jamaica, the countries that also see the impact of the instability in terms of irregular migration for their countries.
Yeah, and that's a challenge. I was with the president of the Dominican Republic, and he said to me, you know, we're trying to be good neighbors, but when 50 or 60% of the hospital beds in the maternity ward are delivering babies of Haitian mothers, and Dominican mothers can't get in to go ahead and deliver their babies, that's a problem. And that's one of the many dimensional elements of the Haiti problem. Next thing is we'll see people on boats to the shores of the United States. We talk about migration. So this is a cauldron ready to explode. And I am hopeful that your presence there will help us find a pathway forward. On a specific thing, I introduced bipartisan legislation, Haiti Criminal Collusion and Transparency Act, which has the support of over a dozen Haitian civil society diaspora groups, to expose the links between the elites and the Haitian gangs and sponsors and target them for economic sanctions and visa restrictions. Is that something I can get your commitment to work with us on, if you are confirmed?
No, absolutely, sir. Okay. So again, it's another tool it gives us in our diplomacy of dealing with then corrupt links between political and gangs. I don't have my experience on the ground to understand whether the causality is politicians who control criminal gangs or criminal gangs that control politicians, but obviously we see that there are linkages between the two. So it's important to break those linkages so that violence is not used as a way of avoiding a political and social process.
Thank you. Mr. O'Brien, I want to echo what Senator Van Hollen said about the administration's consideration of F-16s to Turkey. It's not surprising. Sweden still hasn't received a vote from Turkey, even though Erdogan said, yes, okay, Sweden should be in. He could have called the parliament. He could have had the vote. He hasn't had it. And, you know, we cannot have belligerents in the Eastern Mediterranean. We have another NATO ally, Greece, for which we not only have Suda Bay, long-standing, but we have Alexandropoli, which has become the Suda Bay of the North, and a major energy center, and a NATO center for transshipment. Now, how does it work for us to have one NATO ally be belligerent to another and somehow sell them, you know, F-16s? So I hope that this will be one of the things that, if this is still pending upon your confirmation, that you will be focused on. I hope that we can be an advocate for greater stability in the Eastern Mediterranean because it's incredibly important. I hope that we will work on the 3+1 process in a way that will strengthen the relationships between Israel, Cyprus, Greece, and the United States.
Absolutely. And Mr. Chairman, I think the clear messages coming from this committee are incredibly helpful as we try to navigate through the relationship.
And I have one specific thing, and then I'll submit the rest of my questions in writing so that the committee can move on. On June the 20th, the Albanian government raided Camp Ashraf III, where they've been hosting Iranian refugees for many years. I salute the Albanians for doing that. However, there was a recent raid, and there are differing accounts. It seems that one person died during or after the raid, and that both residents of the camp and police officers were injured. Can you commit to advocating for the fundamental rights and freedoms of the residents of Camp Ashraf?
Absolutely.
It's important because if you seek refuge, you ultimately have to be in a position to know that that refuge is secure. And we moved these residents into Camp Ashraf from their previous location. And I support I appreciate the Albanians having made that possible. We need a continuing guarantee of security.
I join you in the appreciation of Albania, which has been a very important place of refuge for a number of people seeking asylum. I'll look into this incident. I'm very sorry for the family of the person who died. I'll report to you what I find out.
Thank you.
And we'll work together going
Thank you.
forward.
I'll submit the rest of my questions for the record.
Thank you.